How's it going? Welcome back to eSports Meditation. I'm your host, BowmanShoota, and today I want to talk about youth in eSports. And overall, this is going to be a fairly positive video, but we are going to touch base on some of the stresses that come along with being young in this fast-moving, crazy scene that it is. But at the same time, one of the best things about youth is that they are risk takers, and I mean that in the best possible way in this case, because obviously there's a lot of young dumb people as well, but as far as esports are concerned, the youth is what drove esports to be where it is today, because it was a bunch of young people or younger people. I know Sir Scoots is a little bit older than most of us, but at the same time, he's got probably the most youth in his blood that you've ever seen out of anyone in the scene right now, because he still streams, he's still active, he's still out doing outstanding things. And 10, 15 years ago, he was a lot younger, and we all were a lot younger. I was in my teens, I'm not there anymore, and, we all had that drive to do something great, and we all banded together in the different communities that we joined, in the different clans and all that stuff, and we did create something amazing. And some of them didn't work out, and some of them are still around today. And obviously they've grown, huge, where it's a $500 million industry now because of that youthful risk taking. But in the sense, it also took a collective of a bunch of people actively trying to get better at it as well. Because mistakes were made. Don't get me wrong. We lost that Coca Cola sponsorship. If you've been following my channel, I've talked about that because of our youth. But at the same time, there was a portion of the community that that Coca-Cola was attracted to being a part of. They wanted to be a part of that growth and that type of energy and that type of daring, for lack of a better term, for going after growing that competitive gaming scene. Obviously if Coke saw something 12 years ago, there was a lot of good ideas there being thrown around, and that was all because of youthful energy, youthful ambition. And so it's funny, when I see the different conversations that occur. Like today, I was, just browsing the forums and browsing different chat groups, and one in particular, Esports Professionals Network, that I'm a part of. Some people who are like community managers, and they're team managers, and they're people that are actively involved in the esports scene and have a little bit of pull, actually, and not just fanboys. And they're under 18. They're 16, 17 years old, some 18, and at first, you have a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction going like, holy crap, this 16-year-old's in charge of what? But at the same time, they've earned it. So they've obviously done something right, and they're obviously smarter than the average bear to actually achieve that type of success. And I applaud them for that. That's outstanding. And it's great that they're following their passion, and they're definitely going to be the ones to carry the torch when the rest of us aren't doing this any longer. And none of us want to not do this any longer. All of us want to do this until we die. But that's fine. They're still younger than us, so they'll still have to carry the torch after we die anyway. So, but it is good that there's that intelligence at that young of an age with those people, and it's nice because it reminds us of when we were that age, when we were trying to start these competitive gamings, and we didn't have as much of opportunity. It was literally like, hey, someone knew how to code a forum, and we just all kind of joined, or it happened to be the popular server, and people decided to talk outside of the server chat in real life on IRC or something like that, and one thing led to another, and communities grew, and it was exciting, it was great, and that youthful energy is infecting the scene right now in a very positive way. But we also have to worry because with that youth is going to come mistakes as well. And it's up to the people who have been through those mistakes, who have the little bit more experience, that are currently in the scene, not to tell these youthful people to stop what they're doing, but to help guide them, to help forewarn them about the dumb mistakes, like public image, saying something dumb on Twitter that's really offensive will come back to haunt you. Posting something in a forum, that's very offensive, will come back to haunt you. Like, it could be you lose a job over something like that, especially nowadays where there's a lot more scrutiny into people's social media and their public profiles and all that stuff. Little mistakes like that will come back to haunt you. I know they haunted the community I was in back in 2005 when we lost the Coca Cola sponsorship. I mean, because of the youthful mistakes of just, we didn't even think about it. It was one of those things where we were so caught up in the moment of doing exciting things that the little offhanded comments that we made in a forum, well, someone found it. And someone told Coca Cola. So that happened. And today the scrutiny is even more difficult, even higher than ever before. And so and other little things like, to talk about some headlines that have been in the news recently, like Simple and Yellowstar going back to Europe. Simple from Team Liquid and Yellowstar from TSM for League of Legends and Counter-Strike. That it says a lot about that we still are working with young individuals to where traveling halfway across the world to a completely different country that's not your native language, where you don't have your family, your support structure, where you don't have, friends that you can just go out and hang out with, because, people who are already living in the country or from that country, they have all that support structure. They have friends to hang out with outside of the esports. And when you're flying halfway across the world by yourself, for an extended period of time, it takes a very strong individual, regardless of age, to champion that challenge, to champion that overall goal. So, you can't blame them for moving back. The being alone like that is difficult. I've traveled abroad a little bit, not to the extended stay that some of these have, but at the same time, I was gone for 6 weeks, and I didn't have that problem, but I also had people I was traveling with that, I could rely on. So I had that advantage that, I wasn't completely just in the unknown in a foreign country. So, but these people are completely alone, and their youth does show in a little bit, and I don't want to put it in a bad light, but, you got to wonder if they had a few more years under their belt, if they would have maybe made a different decision, maybe just stick it out a little bit longer. So, and obviously there's more into each of those stories, so I don't want to generalize. But at the same time, being young, being in a fast-paced environment that esports is, where there's lots of money, lots of talk, lots of BS being thrown around, and there is a lot of BS being thrown around in this scene right now, and it's one of those things where we just, we got to be mindful of it. And those of us that are a little bit older, that have been in the scene for a little bit, maybe need to take a few of these guys under their wings just to help them develop and grow. So that way we can, they can still be productive with their youthful energy, but they don't run into the same mistakes and same obstacles that we ran into 10, 15 years ago. And so we can help grow and help develop them even better so they can carry that torch when we're done. So that was just kind of my thoughts. I thought it was funny having those conversations earlier today. Them making fun of my age, and I'm, me poking fun that I don't have that many gray hairs yet. So, but it's, I'm excited that the youth is taking an active role and trying to get involved in esports in a productive manner, and not just, hey, can I be on your team? But they're actually like, hey, I'm driving this community. Hey, I'm helping coach this team. Hey, I'm helping do graphic design. Hey, I'm doing this. Like, those people that are actively getting involved and actually producing quality work, cheers to them. I obviously they can't drink yet, but cheers anyway to them. They're doing a good job, and I hope they keep up the good work. And I hope every generation continues to grow esports, as it has the last 15 years, because it's been an amazing ride. It's been outstanding. So that's it for today. Share, like, and favorite this as you see fit. Other than that, you guys all have a great day.